Na mtazamaji, tukisonga mbele kutoka kule maeneo ya bunge ni kuwa tume ya uchaguzi ya hapa nchini IEBC iko mbele ya kamati ya uhasibu ambapo inajibu masuala mbalimbali kuhusiana na matumizi ya fedha katika tume hiyo, na hasa hapo wanaangazia katika uchaguzi mkuu uliofanyika mwaka jana mwaka 2017 tarehe 8 na vile vile katika marudio ya uchaguzi huo tarehe 26 mwezi huu wa Oktoba. Hebu tutazame.
So when you say it's commission or mission, that is not stories Kenyans want to hear. They want to hear how this money was spent to the last coin. Because it's the most expensive election in the world.
Honorable Msasa?
Yes, Chair. If it is true, IBC submitted this document to the auditor on 3rd July 2018. And it is also true the IBC were invited way back, not yesterday. They didn't get the letter yesterday. It means this document are in their possession. Why was it difficult for them to supply us with this response, which they did immediately they were invited, but they could not touch the annexes? They are still walking. They don't have a vehicle to carry them from IBC offices here at Anniversary Towers to Parliament. Yet, these responses, we have just been supplied with them now. Bwana CEO, by the time you are leaving your office in the morning, were you aware you are supposed to attach the annexes? Or you have been just reminded that the annexes are not there? Because if they were submitted on 30th July, and today is October 30th, and you can't find them, they're still working. Chairman, there is something there.
Okay. And no response will come here without annex.
Annex.
Honorable Nakuleu?
Chair, mine is directed to Auditor General Office. Chair, you realize that most of the issues where Auditor Generals have raised a query, for example, item number 1, 1.1, 1.2, and 1.3. The management has accepted that they made an omission in all of them. Now, in the best practices, what is the opinion of the Auditor General on the integrity of these financial statements? In the event that the person being audited has accepted that he has made consistent omissions in each and commissions in each and every item raised where a query has been raised, what is the integrity of that financial statement?
Let me just also clarify one thing, Honorable Nakuleu. You know, the Auditor General actually had done his work way back. Whatever he's doing now is supplementary. It's not even recognized in law. He finished his work when he produced this report. Yeah.
Chair,
yes.
I agree with you.
Yes.
They say they have cleared it. They have
not cleared it. They just think that now, subsequent to that, there will be some information to answer queries.
Once the audit book lands in this committee, it is the responsibility of this committee to get satisfied with those answers and not the auditor. If we are not satisfied with the answers, the query stays.
So my opinion, Chair, is that I have a problem with the integrity of this financial statement of IBC.
Yes.
It's noted.
Chair, if that is the case...
Hold on.
Mr. Chair, please. A further response to, furtherance to the issue about the annexes. If you took, for example, issue number 1.3 about the understatements of A in A, where IEBC received 16 million shillings from UNDP for payment of cashews. And then you're told that this has afterwards been recognized in the financial statements in Annex 4 that is not available. Then I'm tempted to imagine that probably the reason why this grant in terms of A in A was omitted was actually because that expense was still expensed in the financial statements of IEBC. Yes. But here I am, I cannot verify that information because I don't have the annexures. So I believe that...
Thank you, Mr. Manning. Just make one statement, Mr. Honorable Teacher Kavan, you will hold on for a moment. Just make your statement on regard to the query.
The committee is, I agree with the committee, it's the responsibility of the IEBC to provide all the annexures including this revised financial statement.
Mr.
How was the matter resolved and how did you get satisfied, Mr. Auditor?
Once we received the revised financial statements, we examined and determined that these issues were be addressed in the new now financial
So how do we get
statements.
satisfied as a committee?
Well, that question you can't answer. The committee is going to, yeah. Now, let's go back to you, Mr. Majan. Address all the issues that have been raised so far and make progress. Oh. I will excuse TJ Kajwang, Honorable TJ Kajwang,
just to introduce myself. Mr. Chair, my name is TJ Kajwang. I am from Ruaraka. Ruaraka, I trained a lot in the morning, so for me to have walked through Dar es Salaam up to here took me a little time. But Chair, this is a very fundamental issue. And even though I'm late and you may have made rulings on this, it's still fundamental. This PSC, anybody can come here and say anything. The auditor can say anything. The witnesses can say anything in response. Nothing persuades us other than the evidence that we see. And so in spite of all these books and papers which have been written and the words beautiful as they are, without the evidence of those appendixes, there is nothing you have said. Completely nothing you have said. Even if the auditor is satisfied, to what extent? It is not his satisfaction that we have come to listen to. It is our satisfaction based on the evidence that we see. So, Bwana CEO, I can't sympathize with you, because how do you walk into a meeting if you know the mandates of the committee and you expect us to believe you on things which you say by word of mouth without the evidence that you know that we will look at? Have you come to spend taxpayers' time, or have you come to show the nation that you spent every money given with which it was required?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I will attempt to address the annexes first, because it looks like it has raised issues. And I think, Chairman, it is the reason why I started by discussing. Not to say that they are just out here. The annexes, Mr. Chairman, even the evidences we produced and gave to the Auditor General for the purpose of responding to this was actually 11 box files. No, 14 box files. That 14 box files. Now the audit queries have been reduced to the ones that we are seeing, and therefore we had to reorganize them and make appropriate copies for the purpose of the committee. So these annexes, Mr. Chairman, will be
For being one time at night.
No, let me finish first.
Yes. So, Mr. Chairman, we apologize for that.
What are you saying? Are they here or they are not here?
I'm saying because they were coming, so the outside, maybe somewhere here. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
If they're outside, please bring them in.
Yes.
And then proceed.
Yes. So, and therefore, Chairman, we recognize the importance of annexes. You cannot be able to go with the report without referring to. That's why I asked for your permission, Mr. Chairman, before we proceeded. So, on the issue of tax exempt, Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
UNDP do not pay tax to the government of Kenya. And therefore, when they agreed that they are going to pay for our casuals who are going to do registration work, the agreement was that, and there's correspondence to that effect, that they will only pay the net amount. For the purpose of tax, they will pay us the tax amount and we will pay the KRA. And that amount now was basically now deposited in our account. And when an amount is deposited in an account as a receipt, it is actually part of ANA. We are supposed to disclose it as ANA. But that amount was immediately now used to dispense and pay the tax to the KRA. For accounting purposes, for those who are accountants, you will see that that's a receipt that came in, and there's a corresponding expenditure that also, and therefore they know one another. In fact, if we were to omit that transaction, no. But for the purpose of disclosure, we are supposed to show it in the notes to the account that we received this amount from UNDP, and also we spend it in this amount. And that's why we are not done that. But when it was raised, so we decided, we actually saw the wisdom and we incorporated the same. That is on the tax are exempt. On the omission of the interest, Mr. Chairman, for the purpose of interest, auditors will always have a certificate from the banks, your service providers. And therefore, by the time when you are preparing the financial statements, we had not received the certificates to confirm the amount. We have the bank statement, but they need the certification. And therefore, not include this amount. It is appearing in the financial statement, but you are not included it. This is something that cannot be changed. It's going to be there. It is appearing as income that has been received in form of interest. So we reflected it accordingly. In terms of admitting liability, Mr. Chairman, yes, we admit that those omissions are there. And personally, as an accounting officer, I'm going to take necessary action. I spoke with the Director of Finance on the same, that we will not allow continuous of having same issues all over again. So it is something that I'm going to personally take action.
What is the possible action?
The possible action is, first of all, to ask for disciplinary process, to ask for the officers concerned to show cause why they should not be disciplined for the omissions that have been raised by the auditor. And then
provide those annexes to this committee. Not your action. That is, your action is administrative. When are you going to bring those annexes to this committee? Today, evening, tomorrow morning?
Mr. Chairman, hopefully before we even finish this deliberation, we'll have given you the annexes.
But I thought they're outside. You just said they're outside there.
I wanted him to confirm because they are on the way.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, yes.
Mr. Chair.
Can I allow Honorable Macau first?
Okay.
Yeah. Chairman. Standing order number 180 gives you authority and power to rule on the proceedings of this committee. And I think before we started, you said we can proceed, and we are going to make a determination with or without the annexes. So I think the CEO is rightfully presenting himself in front of this committee.
And again, Macau, you know, actually, the danger we end up running into when we keep on adjourning meetings on account of lack of evidence for annexes is that we run out of time, and we are time constrained. So if you don't have them, we proceed. And we shall do a report. Yeah.
Mr. Chair.
Honorable Kimani, okay.
I would like to further my asking about the tax exemption of VAT. I'm still not convinced because this nation from UNDP. So I don't see where the taxation status of I'm assuming when you tell me that if we omitted this income expense, then the net effect would be zero, because yes, true, there is income that's getting into AIE and it's expense. But I'm not able to confirm that the expense was not actually made. So in another set of account, there could be this payment that was made to these cashiers as an expense. And probably that's why these annexed charges are not even coming. On this issue of this omission of interest, and an honorable colleague here asked, what would have happened had the issue not been raised by the auditors? And the explanation was that this is money already available in the accounts, because even a financial statements can say. But I'm going to take this way. When I'm preparing a set of accounts, I do not prepare accounts using deposit certificate of the bank. I use the bank statement first. It is now on furtherance for the auditor when I ask to confirm the authenticity of those statements that I can actually get to produce the evidence of the certificate. Therefore, the explanation why this was missing in the financial statements is actually laughable. And maybe lastly, Mr. Chair, we may not have been here during the ruling, but we know for us to spend another 3 hours or 4 hours interrogating statements without having to the annexures? Or should you just adjourn and say that we have a hostile witness?
Chair, point of order.
Yeah, let me allow.
Please, on Honorable Macau's statement.
Yeah, there's an error in the.
A senior member of this committee.
Honorable.
Number 180 is not.
Honorable Ndinyor.
As far as I'm concerned, as the member of PAC, we have jurisdiction equal to the High Court. We actually already have the evidence ourselves, because the Auditor General has already booked the IEBC on the Blue Book, and therefore we are not seeking for more evidence from our head, because it's not our business to prove you otherwise, other than what the Auditor General has already seen in you. And therefore, Chairman, in my assessment, we actually fear off without the annexers ourselves as the PAC, because it makes our work easy. We already have the evidence from the Auditor General by then. If there is no other document to convince us otherwise, it is actually not our business to wait for it or even to look for it. And therefore, Chair, I seek that we continue and actually as fast so that we can cover as much without the annexers.
Honorable TJ Kajwa.
Chair, I think I now support you that we should continue this hearing, because I think the witness now understands very well. He's an adult and he's gone to school. He knows the point we are making, that without evidence before us, what he's speaking is in vain.
Yeah. Next item.
Thank you, Chairman. Paragraph 1.4, unsupported account payables. The statement of financial position and note 17 to the accounts as at 30th June 2017 reflects a balance of 6,077,358,000 Kenya shillings against accounts payables. However, the schedules provided for audit review reflects an amount of 3,354,467,114.58 Kenya shillings, resulting to unsupported difference of 2,722,890,885.42, which has not been analyzed. Further, the Commission amended financial statement in which note 18 now reflects a balance of 2,680,742,000 against pending bills which were not supported with payment vouchers.
Proceed, Mr. Majak.
Mr. Chairman, it is true that some payment vouchers in support of the pending bills disclosed under Note 18 were not availed to the auditors due to the time constraints and the incomplete state of payments documents related to 2017 general elections. That is our response, Mr. Chairman.
Yes. Just for record, what do you say, Auditor General?
And if we turn to page 5,
yes,
we have now provided the same.
Okay.
The makeup of 2.6 million, 2680,741,520.33 is reflected as the opening balances was 634.
No, we can see it. We can see the table.
Yes. And the pending bill summary and supporting schedules were availed to the auditor for verification before the audit exit meeting. Before the exit meeting we had basically provided them with that information.
I want him to comment first.
Chair, we are getting this information now. We need time to look at it and comment on it.
Mr. Chair. Annex 5 is here.
All the annexes.
Chair, you see, the members are not complaining out for no reason. Chair, you see, the auditor has raised issues of vouchers of 2 billion shillings that are not there. And the accounting officer has given his response, but he said they are contained. Look at Annex 5. Annex 5. Where are the annexes? So, you know, those committee needs to see those vouchers, copies of those vouchers. And then
we now have it.
Read for us.
No, the first I wanted to say, Chair, that on this particular query.
Na mtazamaji kutoka bungeni pale, hiyo ni tume ya uchaguzi na mipaka hapa nchini IEBC ikiwa inafika mbele ya kamati ya uhasibu kujibu maswali kuhusiana na vitabu vya hesabu za fedha za mwaka 2017 na mwaka 2000